Alright, in this video we're going over the artifacts in my cube. The cube is 540 cards and it is unpowered except, I guess Soul Ring is in it, but it's majority unpowered. Starting off with things that cost 0 mana. Tormod's Crypt, that's it. Hate for graveyard-based decks like Reanimator. We're doing mana rocks at the end of this just because there's a lot of them and they're, you know how cubes are with the mana rocks. So right now we're going to be doing other artifacts. Aether Vial. Aether Vial is super good. Played in Merfolk and in Legacy it's played in Death and Taxes. Basically lets you put creatures into play and they can't be countered because you're placing them in play. Put a charge counter on at the beginning of each turn, and you can do it. Yeah, okay. Next is Bone Splitter. Bone Splitter is kind of you look at it and it's a fairly underwhelming card. It just makes a creature a bit stronger, but it's such a, it's just really solid. Really, just an average good card. Next, more than solid, is Skull Clamp. This card is banned. Target creature gets +1/-1, because obviously +1/+1 would have been way too strong. Problem is, when the creature dies, you draw 2 cards, and you can equip it to any 1/1 to just draw 2 cards. This is really good in an aggressive deck or a token-based strategy. This is first pickable. Next is Pithing Needle. It basically shuts down like a walker or something. You can name it and it gets shut down. Expedition Map. This is used to tutor for any of the utility lands. And that is the 1-drops that are not mana rocks. Next, doing 2-drops. Ratchet Bomb. Take it up, destroy things with that converted mana cost. This can be used to destroy tokens as well. That is of note. Next is Winter Orb. This card is a real pain in the ass to play against. I've had it both in my deck and played against it, and it is oppressive if you build your deck right. A lot of mana rocks lead to frustrating games for your opponent if that's in your deck. Shrine of Burning Rage. This is pretty much a red card. Beginning of your upkeep, put a counter on it, and every time you cast a red card, put a counter on it. And then for 3 mana and sack, deal damage to your opponent equal to the counters on it. Super good in a mono red deck. And only in a mono red deck. Pretty much should just be in the red section of the cube. Sphere of Resistance. This goes pretty well with Winter Orb. It's just more mana strain on your opponent. And if you have this in your deck, you're going to have a lot of mana rocks and ramp. So you don't really have to worry about it. Ankh of Mishra. This is good in an aggressive deck. Same deck that this is good in. Every time there's a player plays a land, they take 2 damage. Maybe I'll add Zozu the Punisher into the cube. It's basically this on a creature. And this is pretty good in an aggro deck. Works kind of like Sulfuric Vortex. Mortar Pod. You can sack a creature and deal damage. Decent with tokens and other stuff you want to get in the graveyard for different recursion purposes or whatnot. Just a cool card to include, so I have it in there. And then, Sword of the Meek. Combos with Thopter Foundry, and you get infinite 1/1 guys. And life are according to how much mana you can spend. So not infinite, but you know. Okay, 3 drops, starting with Lockset on Warhammer. +3/+0, trample, lifelink, 3 mana to cast, 3 to equip. This is just solid equipment. Not the best equipment in the cube by far. Mimic Vat. This will take over games, and it is a fairly high pick. When a creature dies, you imprint it on here, and you can make copies of it whenever you want, but they die at the end of the turn. Crystal Shard. This is pretty much just a blue card, but you can use it to bounce your own creatures to your hand and get their enter the battlefield abilities again, because there's tons of those in cube. Or if your opponent taps out, you can bounce their creatures as well. Tangle Wire just delays the game, and if you cast it, you can tap Tangle Wire as one of the things you tap. So that's of note. Vidalcan Shackles. This is definitely a first pick card. And yes, LU is written on the card. I don't know why. I ordered the card online and that's what it came like. And we call it Live Young because obviously Young starts with a U. Yeah, it'd be nice if that wasn't written on there, but it is. So what are you going to do, you know? And lastly, Sword of Feast and Famine. This is the only sword I have in the cube. I want to add another one or two, but I don't want to add them all because I don't want swords to be too consistent and you'd be able to rely on getting them. I also don't have... what's it called? I also don't have the... whatever card it is that... I also don't have the card. The name is escaping me right now. I'll put a picture of it here. But I don't have the card that lets you fetch an equipment and put it into play for 2 mana. But yeah. Alright, next we're going to do 4 drops. Icy Manipulator, you just lock down pretty much anything. Nice to have in a control deck. Phyrexian Processor, this is the gold bordered one. Pay any amount of life when it comes into play, and you can make creatures that are that big. Nevinyrral's Disc wipes the board. And Moonsilver Spear. This is an interesting one that I don't see in cubes, really. It's a decent card. It's one of my friend's pet card in the cube that he gave to me. And it's a foil. So if you give me a foil and you're my friend, it's probably going to go in the cube. He really likes this card, so it's in there. 5 mana artifacts. Mirari. 5 mana legendary artifact. And for 3 mana you can copy an instant or sorcery. There's one other, and it is Batterskull. This is a very high pick and super good. It'll end games. It's played in Modern, Legacy. And yeah. It's an artifact. It's a equipment, but it's a creature on its own. Now for 7 mana colorless cards. There's one. It's All Is Dust. Wipe the board. Good in an artifact deck because colorless. We're going to do creatures now. Burnished Heart. It's played in Commander a fair amount. Yeah. Sack it. Get some lands. This is really a 2 mana creature. And it is a white card, but you are never going to pay the white for it. You're going to pay the 2 and take 2 damage for 3-1 with first strike. Really good. On to 4 mana stuff. We've got Lodestone Golem. This goes into a ramp deck. So your opponents have to worry about paying more mana for things. Next is Solemn Simulacrum. It comes into play. Get a basic. When it dies, you get... excuse me. When it dies, you draw a card. And it's a 2/2. So say you hit him, block, and you get those other 2 abilities. It's a 4 for 1 for 4 mana. Excellent. Played in Commander, staple in Cube. Next is Phyrexian Metamorph. You're pretty much always going to play this for 3 mana, unless maybe you're in blue. But you don't need to be in blue for this. It's a clone effect. And you can get an artifact with it as well. Excellent auto-include. Going to do 5 mana. There's only one. Precursor Golem comes into play. 3/3. You get 2 3/3 golems. Anything that happens to one happens to all of them. So 5 mana for 9 power on 3 bodies. Alright, next we're doing 6 mana artifact creatures. Steel Hellkite. Flying. Fire breathing, but for 2 mana, 2 colorless, and pay X when it hits an opponent and destroy everything with that combined cost. One Coil Engine. This card is excellent. Super high pick. Good tinker target. Good ramp target. Really good in pretty much any deck that isn't like mono red or something. And it replaces itself with 2 creatures when it dies. So 7 drops. We've got Platinum Angel. Maybe you'll play it in control. Not that great. Might get cut. I have an Ulamog that I'm looking to trade for soon, and maybe this will get cut for Ulamog. Either that or the Endless One will get cut for Ulamog, probably. One of the 2. The other one is Mere Battlesphere. These are both also excellent tinker targets and stuff. Mere is a tough one. Mere Battlesphere. Makes a lot of 1/1 mirrors and you can tap them to make this guy bigger. 8 mana Sundering Titan. Best Tinker target right now, in my opinion, because I don't have any Blightsteel Colossus or anything in here, because I think they're too narrow and they're less fun. Yeah, he comes into play, destroy one of each basic land type. So yeah. 7-10 on turn 3 or 2 maybe is excellent. I don't care who you are. And then we've got 2 X cost colorless / artifacts. One of them being the Endless one, which will probably get cut. The other being Hangerback Walker, which is a really good card that replaces itself when it dies and can grow. Now we're going to do Mana Rocks, the fun part. Some of these may be changed soon, just to make green a bit better, but right now it's pretty solid. But yeah, that's where we go right now. So we're going to do that. Everflowing Chalice. Multi-kicker. You're usually going to kick it for 1 or 2, making it either cost 2 mana or 4 mana, and then it taps for that. The ultimate first pick card in Cube, Soul Ring. Never ever pass this card. This is the best card in the Cube, no question. Pick it over Library, Jace, anything. Play this turn 1. It's so broken. That's the only 1 mana rock. Like I said, Cube is unpowered. Pretty much other than that, and maybe Library. Sphere of the Suns. Comes in tapped, but you can make any color mana you want with it a few times. Mind Stone. Ramps for 1, and you can sack it to draw a card when it's no longer relevant, so it's nice. Cold Steel Heart. Pick a color, makes that color. Grim Monolith. This is arguably a first pick, because you cast it for 2, and you make 3 mana. So it ramps you, and you cast 4 to untap. This card's broken if you have ways to untap things. Really, really good. Yeah, this is like in powered cubes and stuff, but I don't know. Maybe this cube is like semi-powered. Next, we've got the baby brother of Grim Monolith, Basalt Monolith. Cast for 3, tap for 3, 3 to untap. Also very good, not first pick, I don't think. Chromatic Lantern. Taps for any color, makes all your lands tap for any color. Super good in like tricolor or more decks. Worn Power Stone comes in taps for 2. It's okay. You're happy to play it. Maybe I'll cut this if I'm cutting Mana Rocks, but I don't know. Suggestions in the comments. Coalition Relic, not getting cut at all. This card's really good. At the end of your opponent's turn, you put a charge counter on it. On your turn, you can take a charge counter off and tap it for mana. So it ramps you for 2 if you play it right, or 1 at any time. Yeah, and it of any color, so makes mana of any color, so that's really good. Pristine Talisman, not that great. It's a 3 mana ramp for 1, but it gains you life, so maybe in a control deck you play it. This is more likely to be cut than that. That's going to do it for 3 mana rocks. There's tons of mana rocks in this cube. It's 540 cards. 4 mana, Thran Dynamo. That's it for 4 mana. Thran Dynamo is really good. This is from the Vault 20. 5 mana, Gilded Lotus. Gilded Lotus is really good. This is from the Vault 20. It is Black Lotus that you don't have to sacrifice, but it costs 5 mana. Real quick, 2 cards that I forgot in the creature category are Palladium Mirror and Matter Reshaper. Matter Reshaper I added again the other day. When it dies, you basically draw a card, and if it has converted mana cost 3 or less, you put it into play. Super good. And then Palladium Mirror, I have this kind of with, I think I had it with the Mana Rocks, which is why I forgot it before. 2/2 for 3, tap for 2. Pretty good. Next, we've got literally all of the Signets, which I know some people don't run because they make green worse, but I like the Signets, and they're definitely very powerful. Fairly high picks, they fix your mana and they ramp you. So yeah, that's going to do it for artifacts in my cube. Link in the description to the cube on Cube Tutor, where you can draft it and look at the list, see what I've changed. Leave suggestions in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and watch my other videos about my cube that will be linked in the description. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.